You're watching Lansdowne Raw, the voice of the fans. I'm Martin Prendergast, joined by Conor McAvoy this evening as we catch up on all the news in Irish football. Evan Ferguson, is he a doubt for Portugal? Well, Ferry gets the call up after injury withdrawals, and we check in on Obig to see how the lads got on over the weekend. It's all here, it's live, it's Lansdowne Raw, the most interactive Irish football podcast out there. And I'm now going to hand over to Conor McAvoy when he kills that music at last. How are you, Conor? You well?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good, Martin. That was a very aggressive way of saying that, but yeah, I'm good. It was up in Dublin today for the 21s Media Day, which was enjoyable, getting to speak a couple of lads, which will be out in the channel later in the week. And so yeah, it's been a successful day for me. Hopefully a successful week for the podcast. Hopefully a big week for Irish football on the pitch and off the pitch, with the budget tomorrow, and really more important really than the results, because this is what we're going to be fighting for tomorrow, getting that money, and then hopefully it will lead to Ireland qualifying for tournaments with a lot more ease than we currently do at the present in the future. But yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Good busy weekend. I'm looking forward to Obig. I didn't follow much of it, as you know, following a bit of non-league action now in England, at Enfield Town. Shocking over the weekend. But no, looking forward to it. International weekend, week ahead now. Looking forward to it, of course. Off to Lisbon Friday. Myself, you, Dave, 2,500 Irish.
Is Rep Tracker Keane wrong?
Rep Tracker Keane is going. Yeah, if any of his teachers are watching, he's not going, but yeah, he's going. And yeah,
sure, it's a weekend. It's a weekend.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he can go to that one.
He's going to Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's going to absolutely be brilliant, though, isn't it? I'm looking forward to it. We've actually done a fantastic fanzine. We will get the link up, obviously, in the comments here. We've just well done to Dave, and also one of our writers, James Agnew, done a fantastic job again getting out the fanzine for the Raw Faithful. That's got loads of information on that for those travelling to Lisbon, but it's also got a few little travel tips for those travelling to Dublin, especially our Armenian friends coming over on Tuesday to gift us those 3 points, of course, for our campaign trying to qualify for the World Cup. All is not lost. We've been sucked in, Conor. We're going to be really positive tonight, I'm sure. We want to hear from you, the Raw Faithful. Make sure you do get involved. As I said, it's the most interactive Irish football podcast out there. There is the wonderful cover of our fanzine. Totally unofficial. €0 is the cost. And we do that out of love for Irish football, as we do this podcast, of course. But I want to get that key information out to Irish fans who are all going to have a fantastic trip. I did. I looked back on some of the memorable away performances for Ireland that I was at. So there's a few games, obviously, people will go, I'm sure there'll be a bit of backlash going, well, you haven't mentioned this and you haven't mentioned that. Well, those were games I was not at. So yeah, there's obviously loads and loads. But yeah, I did talk about some memorable trips. And I did actually just really talk about the football, not the some of the maybe off the field activities, maybe saying too much already. But really excited, though. I'm sure you are, Conor. It's International Week. You know, the lads, we've seen them all now arriving in Dublin. The FAI have obviously put up the photos. Wonderfully sponsored by Nissan. We've seen Seamus Coleman arriving, John Egan back in the squad, of course. And but a little bit of disappointment, I suppose, in a sense that we've had 2 withdrawals from the squad. Callum O'Dowda, an injury doubt. Proven now to be an injury for him. Got injured for Ferencváros the other day, and disappointing, I think, for many of Irish football fans, because he had become a cult hero, and that is the word I'm using, cult hero. He sadly withdrawn from the squad again with injury, and this has prompted a little bit of a backlash, speculation. I don't want any hating on players, but you know, I think we've been quite honest in our recent podcasts and views on when the squad was announced and what we kind of wanted to see and what we did end up seeing being selected by Heimer, that, you know, Sammy Szmodics ultimately has flattered to deceive an Irish shirt. So is he going to be as big as a loss as maybe he thinks he is?
Good question, Martin. Yeah. So yeah, but it's not really too much of an issue that them 2 are gone, to be honest. We'll get into the replacement in a second. There was only 1. But yeah, it was O'Dowda. We kind of knew he was going to pull out, to be honest with you. Not because he always does it, because in fairness, you can actually see that lad is just very unlucky with injuries most of the time. And when he does play, he is all right for Ireland. Usually he was all right in Wembley, but that was the last time he played, wasn't it? Wembley was last time he was in the squad, and he unfortunately got injured Thursday night after 53 minutes. He went off for Ferry Forest, didn't play on Saturday, so it was inevitable he was going to pull out of the squad, in all honesty. And then Mr. Szmodics, why is he injured? Why?
Yeah.
He played 86 minutes the weekend, didn't seem to be an issue. I'm baffled how he's injured, unless he was carrying something that he was playing through. I remember he did share the squad to his story on Thursday that said he was in it. So it was presuming that he would have been going to some. We have to take with the benefit of the doubt. We have to presume he's injured, but it is quite disappointing that he's quite regularly pulling out of squads, going back to the Stephen Kenny era. But I guess just how it is, he must be injured, and we would have to presume he's injured. But I don't think they're massive losses. I don't think either would have started in either game, to be honest with you. I think we'll see. I don't think how Szmodics would fit into the system for Portugal away, definitely. Maybe Armenia at home. O'Dowda, maybe if he played at wing back, or that dreaded formation that we were thinking of, the 4-4-2 with O'Dowda maybe at left back and Manning on the left wing, or vice versa. But yeah, I don't think they're huge losses in all honesty, because I just don't see how either would have started. Do you think the same?
Yeah, I don't think O'Dowda would have started, and I think Szmodics would have maybe been a key player for maybe the Armenia game, and that would have probably been dependent on Finazaz's performance. I think kind of play similar roles, and it would have been maybe we'd have needed this kind of endeavour and cleverness in that game more so than Portugal. So yeah, just disappointed though. As I said, like flat as to deceive. Lots of speculation under Stephen Kenny why he was, not making himself available, and there was speculation, wasn't there, that he was going to be off to Hungary and stuff. Obviously he qualifies for them, and then got the call up, came in promising a lot, has played a few games, been okay. I know he's been put out on the left a bit, but then you're just hearing all sorts of rumors that when he's not available, it never looks good when a player pulls out of an international squad and then is available 2 or 3 days later to play for his club. I think that never goes down with the fans, and especially on the back of a really horrendous performance and result, because Ireland could have probably done with him in Armenia, and we didn't have him, and then you see him playing for his club. So I think that's where there is a little bit of backlash, probably. And I think it's going to be, I said, I don't want to generate hate on him or anything, but, you would expect maybe something on social media saying how disappointed he is. I don't know if he's done anything like that yet, but yeah, it's just a strange one, isn't it? Right, just on generally the show this evening, we want to hear
with the more important news. The more important news, who's called up?
Oh yeah, I'm coming into.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking, as he forgot that there's been someone called up.
No, I'm not. I'm kind of coming to it. We are going to be talking about who the replacement is, but but we are also just want to say we're the most interactive Irish football podcast out there. We want to hear from you, Raw Faithful. Give us your views. Give us your starting lineups as well. This is international week has started. The lads are all in town, not out in on the piss as they used to be many years ago in the good old days, I would say. But they're all there, fit and healthy in camp. We hope going to be working on the tactics now the next few days. We'll see them in media press conferences as well, and then traveling off to Portugal. But we want to hear your views, Raw Faithful. Very important. We're going to be coming on to OBIG very, very soon as well, where we catch up with the latest, playing, whatever the lads have been up to over the weekend, who played, who didn't, performances from them. Did we have to give any money in this week? I think we might have to put a few quid in, mightn't we, into our the game account. But want to hear from you, the Raw Faithful. Give us your starting lineup for Portugal. Let's get the excitement and buzz going about the game. I think tactically we'll go different, obviously, in Portugal than we will at home, but maybe pick both teams if you want. But yeah, we're looking forward to it now. As I said, heading off to Lisbon. Look, we've got you covered here, so make sure you have subscribed. Follow Conor there at Rep Tracker, ourselves at LRaw_pod, and obviously Dave at Facebook, the Lansdowne Road page. And do check out that fanzine. Really appreciate that. We've also got some really exciting news about some of the players from the squad in OBIG, after OBIG actually, where we'll say a few players have been nominated for Player of the Month awards. And while I'm on the topic of awards, Conor, you'll like that little one. Make sure you have supported the pod. We've been nominated and we've made the finals of the Football Content Awards 2025. We're really proud to be in there. It's taking place Ellen Road on the 20th of November. We're all off to Leeds. Hopefully we'll be safe up there. We'll keep our Man United stuff away for that one. But We'll be representing Ireland at that one. So make sure you do vote. We'll put it up in the comments how you can click, make our vote for us. Our vote for Lansdowne Raw, under the best international football podcast. It's very simple. You don't have to register names or anything. Just click and select us, and that will help us, obviously, with our entry into the final. We're really proud to be there. We're going to have a great night, aren't we, Conor? Win or lose, we're on the
Booze. Guinness Heroes would be
exactly.
The first man to get drunk off Guinness Heroes.
Yeah. No, we're looking forward to it. Really proud that we've been nominated. Obviously, we do this for the love of Irish football, promoting Irish football, of course. And as Conor said, really important day for Irish football tomorrow when the government in Ireland will announce their budget and hopefully going to give a load of money towards the FAI for future growth.
If it's not given, it's an absolute disgrace because the money's not going to FAI. It's going to these clubs to basically pay for full-time staff, 3 at each club to come in and improve what's going on, and within 11 years it'll become self-sufficient with through sales and money clubs will make from players that they've developed over these next 10 years or so. And I think it'll be a disgrace if it's not given. The reality is it's 4.5 million a year to go around the whole country. Is that a huge amount? I don't think so. So yeah, I know it eventually goes up to 8 million, but at least they can start with the 4.5 million for now, and then the FAI can prove the worth of it, or the League of Ireland clubs, and then we go from there, because it'll be an absolute disgrace if it's not given. But you always worry with the government what they're going to give, what they're not going to. They could turn around and say, "Oh yeah, we'll give you 100 grand a year," or something embarrassing or something ridiculous. But hopefully we'll see it, because FAI have done great. I would say promotion of it, a great way of showing what the benefit of it would be and getting the audit done that the government asked for. And I think it's all going in the right direction from Irish football and League of Ireland's point of view. Forget the FAI. What do you think of the FAI? I think it's exactly what we need. But yeah, go on. But you can.
And we are big, obviously, on the podcast. We are massive promoters of Irish football, of course, at all levels as well. And although myself and Dave are based in London, very strong ties with football youth development as well. I coach a football team, Enfield Town, and I've decided this year, this is a podcast, do sponsor Enfield Town, our youth team, and we're actually all off to Ireland now on tour this year, because I know how popular football is in Ireland. We're over there in May. We're taking on Stonyford FC in Kilkenny, having a great weekend. Last weekend of the Premier League, so the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of May. And we're coming over there into Kilkenny, as I said, because it's just, I know the setup there, the facilities are really, really good. So we're coming over, and I just know the good work that people are putting into football. I mean, that's why the funding has to be made available by the government. Massive participation in Ireland in football, and we need to get that infrastructure in place, supporting coaching coming through to obviously develop football. I mean, look, I'm going to come straight into a comment. I'm going to just hopefully have to dismiss this, but Jonathan, welcome tonight. But it would be a complete to put any money into the FAI. As Conor just said, we need football to grow in Ireland. You're going to need money and government input into that. You've got to just trust the FAI. It's not going directly to the FAI, though, is it?
It's not going to the FAI. And the thing is, they've done such a good job, in fairness, of promoting what it is and saying exactly what the money would be going towards. So yeah, it's not going to the FAI as such. It's not going to the FAI to distribute. The money's going straight to the clubs, that they can do exactly what has been laid out in the blueprint. And the money, they're not being told, they're not going to the government and say we want 4.5 million. And not given a background of what exactly the money going for and why exactly it's 4.5 million. Everything's been done to the highest standard they can possibly do it. So yeah, I think you have to trust what the work's been done, because the people who are involved doing it have done an excellent job, in fairness.
Yeah, and just another comment on this, because this is interactive, as we said. This is Gerard McCann says, I think the League of Ireland club should make a collective case to JP McManus for funding if the government lets them down tomorrow. I mean, this is something very typical Irish, though, isn't it? This, we think JP McManus, because he's Mr. Moneybags and he supported the GAA in Limerick, supports Irish horse racing, English horse racing as well. You can dispute probably some of the tax avoidance kind of issues with JP McManus, but he's a fantastic supporter of horse racing in particular, I would say. But he's not massively into football, sadly. And when he was involved in football, he got involved in Man United, didn't he? And what went wrong there? So that was a great history of that. It's well worth looking up that, the whole Rock of Gibraltar case with Alex Ferguson, but it all came about from JP McManus, first of all, buying shares and being friends with Fergie. Good history of that. Right, we are going to come on to OBIG now.
No, we're not.
This is where... Oh, no, we're not. Sorry, we're not. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Right, the replacement.
Jesus, I told you you'd forget. I know what you're like.
I know, and now my screen's frozen, so you'll have to throw it up.
You heard horse racing.
I've got it.
Got you excited.
Here we go. We have a replacement in the Ireland squad, obviously. This is a 23-man squad now. Obviously, O'Dowda is out, and so too is Sammy Szmodics. And Will Ferry has, congratulations to him, Dundee, been called up. People seem to be quite happy with this. Who's with?
Dundee United.
Yeah, Dundee United. Yeah, sorry.
No, but Dundee.
Yes.
You probably offend a lot of people.
Okay.
You offend a lot of people by saying that.
Oh, Scottish, Irish supporters. Dundee United. Happy with this, Conor? Long overdue?
Yeah, because actually I was told I was saying that we have to get Will Ferry added to OBIG last season because he was in such good form for Dundee United last year. He was their fans player of the year, has been capped many a time at under 21 for level for Ireland, under 19 level, and going down to younger ages than that. And came through at Southampton, came through really as a winger, like a right winger, cutting inside in his left foot, and then left-sided winger. And he's since going to Dundee United. And when he was at Cheltenham, I think 2 years ago, it was Cheltenham in League One, and he decided once the contract was up there not to stay in England. He wanted to go get to a club. His reason, he said, he went to Dundee United because he wanted to get to a level that was brought him quicker into the Irish picture, which is what you love to hear. And I'm delighted that he has done that, and it shows the benefit of going to maybe, because it's reality, he probably would have been League One or going to the Scottish Premiership, and the Scottish Premiership has benefited his case with Ireland a lot more and helped him qualify for Europe last season, captained them a lot this season, won their fans player of the year. He was excellent. He was probably the best, you'd probably say top 3, top 2 left backs in Scotland last season, or you could say wing back as well. So you can see exactly why he's been brought into the Ireland squad. We've seen that Josh Honohan and Mark Sykes were both assessed today, but they're both injured. They're not fit to make the squad. So obviously Ferry comes in from there. I don't know whether they were going to be brought in as a 24th man, but I couldn't imagine. So the thing is, Sykes is a right-sided player. I couldn't imagine playing left wing back or left back, whilst Ferry and Honan are both playing on the left. So it'd be interesting to see what the case was there, whether they wanted to bring in 2 players. But I'm delighted with Will Ferry. He's an excellent player. He's done very, very well for Dundee United. I would be shocked if he stays at Dundee again after the season. It was actually Vancouver FC, who are top of the MLS, put in a big money bid for Ferry at the end of the summer window, which Dundee rejected. So I'm sure maybe come January or somewhere again, there'll be a lot of interest in him again. Obviously, MLS can kind of take some lads out of the Irish picture, which he seems to have priority in, but obviously the money he'd make playing in the MLS would be a lot more than what he would have been getting in League One or Scotland. So it'd be interesting. I'm sure next season he'll probably be in the Championship or maybe a top European league, because he's shown he can do it at that level.
Yeah, I mean, huge opportunity for him, isn't it? Like coming in now, and I think he'll adjust hopefully quite well. I mean, Manning though has got to be my favourite, I think, to start that side, hasn't he? So it's just going to be interesting. And we'll come on later on to what we think maybe will be the team lineup for the games coming up, of course. And we want to hear from you. Give us your views. Who do you think's going to? Are you happy with Will Ferry coming into the squad? Seen some comments already, just asking about Josh Honohan, but obviously, as we know, as Conor just said there, it's been stated that he's injured as well. And although sometimes we have doubts about some of this, the reasons people are left out, as we did, well, I did during the week, and it has been confirmed that Matt Doherty is in fact injured. Yeah. So, because I did that.
Are you going to make an apology
to who?
Matt Doherty for doubting his injury?
No, I just said you could play with that, can't you? That injury.
Well, he got surgery in a broken wrist.
Still, well, I think he was dropped before that. He could have not had surgery, couldn't he, and played? Could he not? When did he do it? I want to know more, Conor. Basically, I want to know more. He could have made himself available.
We don't need him available.
No, that's what my theory is. He didn't make himself available because he knew he wasn't going to be picked. So that's the perfect one. That could be the end, of course. But we want to hear from you, Raw Faithful. Let us know your views. Happy with Will Ferry coming into the squad. And now, is that all right now, Conor?
Yeah.
We're going to do OBIG, and this is where those of you new to the show, make sure that you do obviously subscribe, Give the video a like as well. What we on, Connor? This is your time to shine. How many likes and things do we like tonight and all that stuff? What do we need?
What we're currently on, likes wise, Martin Prendergast, is we're only on 8 likes. So get us to 20.
20 likes. Come on. It helps us. Algorithms just gets the show out there to the masses. To the masses. That's it. So just to let you know, then, this is where we focus on how the lads got on in respective positions for their clubs over the weekend. And this is Obig, and this is starting off with the goalkeepers. Right, so the goalkeepers for the Republic of Ireland, we've got Caoimhín Kelleher, 1-0 loss versus Man City for Brentford. Max O'Leary, he was injured for Bristol City. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss versus Stevenage. Bit of news on that to come. And Mark Travers, an unused sub. And Gambazuna, also an unused sub for Southampton. So not a lot of action for the goalkeepers, but some interesting news you shared with me before the show. Luton Town started off quite well this season, but there's been a change.
Bloomfield, is it Bloomfield? I think is the second name. Bloomfield was sacked today by Luton Town. Okay. Not really surprised. They've been really crap as of late, and they've been struggling a lot, and they've not been very good at all. And they all thought he'd do very well because he came in last season, in January time when they looked doom and gloom, and he came in and he got them very close to staying up. If you remember, it got to the last day, so they thought maybe they'd walk League One this season, but they've been terrible. So no surprise to me, he's been sacked. Be interesting to bring in. Hopefully they don't bring in Russell Martin or something, throw money at him, thinking he'll do well because he once got set up to the Premier League or something like that. But the thing is, Luton have plenty of money with the parachute payments, so they'll probably get a very solid or very good manager in, and I think they'll turn it around. But yeah, that's a new manager for Josh Keeley coming in there, especially when it's always a bit worry when he was the manager signing him, but even though he's not going to get dropped or anything, but it's always good because he'd know at least Bloomfield had his back, and because he brought him in the door.
Yeah. I mean, I think probably one of the positives is Josh Keeley's form, probably at the start of the season, especially. And they did lose Mark McGuinness as well, so I do have a little bit of sympathy. But just shows you, doesn't it? Like, started off really well.
Yeah. What about Kelleher's save against Tijani Reinders? Some save, or as many they call them, reindeers. It was a good save against the reindeer, but yeah, it was good to see Kelleher have a good game because he had Brentford fans on his back a bit over recent weeks since signing for the club. So good to see him pick up a bit of form again and do well, especially heading into international break.
I caught a little bit of TalkSport today, and they were just saying that because I watched obviously the Haaland goal, sort of highlights of it. I didn't watch a lot of football over the weekend, to be honest, but Haaland, I mean, he just bullied him there, didn't he? And then I don't know what Collins was doing, to be honest. I wouldn't blame Collins, but it just seemed a bit soft that he didn't even go and smash him. But yeah, Haaland, though, is in incredible form, isn't he? And I think he's very close now to breaking 100, joining the 100 club, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he 6 off?
Yeah.
So it's going to a bit of state of play there.
So that's life. I was trying to see what was the Irish connection. I was like, what's the Irish players?
Well, no, it's Collins. I was digging out Collins. Not Collins. I'm not slagging him, but I'm just saying, Collins Kelleher. There you go. I was just giving a bit of a, just a bit of a mention. All right. Keith Andrews as well was a good result in a way. Other teams have got absolutely battered, but fair play. Right, now on to the defenders. Okay, Robbie Brady still out injured and obviously out the Ireland squad as well. Seamus Coleman, 1 minute in a 2-1 win versus Crystal Palace. Great result for Everton. Nathan Collins, 90 minutes in that 1-0 loss versus Man City, as I said. Matt Doherty is out injured. He is injured for Wolves. Josh Honohan, 65 minutes in a 6-1 win versus Kerry in the FAI Cup semi-final. Jacob Ryan, 90 minutes, 2-1 win versus Palace. Andrew Omobamidele, 13 minutes and 5-0 win versus Angers for Strasbourg. Darragh O'Shea, 90 minutes in the 2-1 win in the Tractor Derby versus Norwich. Liam Scales, 90 minutes, 3-2 win versus Motherwell. James Abankwah, 90 minutes, 2-1 win versus Oxford United. And Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes, 2-1 win versus Bristol City. And Callum O'Dowda, injured for Ferencváros. Mark McGuinness, 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Hull for Sheffield United. Ryan Manning, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw versus Derby. Aaron Cash, an unused sub for Birmingham. And Selmo Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes, 4-0 loss versus PSV. And Will Ferry, who's just made the squad, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw versus Livingston. And Corian Darba, 10 minutes, 1-0 win versus Parma for Lecce. And that is our defenders. Okay,
Yeah.
with all that, Mark
There was no-
McGuinness, would he feel a
No.
little bit aggrieved that he's not got in the Ireland squad?
No, because Sheffield United are straight. No.
Yep.
Well, in fairness, he hasn't. He's done well. He's going there, and he was part of the first clean sheet they kept, but lost all at the weekend. So no, I don't know how he can feel aggrieved. To be honest, 'cause he hasn't really played a banquet.
Yeah.
Maybe more banquet. I even know he was kind of not playing for a while, but he's back in this past week and doing really well again. I don't know if you've seen his Instagram post. I've never seen bigger legs in my life.
Oh yeah,
Scary.
ridiculous, yeah.
They're ridiculous. It's crazy. And yeah, other defenders wise, your COD is beautiful. COD's injured. Good to see Corin Daba continuing to get more minutes. With Lecce, hopefully he can keep building on that now after international break, because he would have been maybe an option for that left hand side. And Obama Deli, good to see more minutes with him as well, because we all know how much he struggled with injuries. Just keep building on that. And yeah, Coleman got his first Premier League minute of the season. Actually, we never spoke about it on here. Heimer was asked by Tony O'Donoghue last week about who would be captain if Coleman and Collins are on the pitch at the same time together, and he spoke to Seamus about it, and it will be Collins because he's the captain of the group so far. So I'm a bit surprised by that. I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think of not giving Seamus the armband when he's there, because I think he just, when someone's at that authority, you just give him, and you have to, and you tell Nathan, sorry, but Seamus is our captain. He's our leader, one of our greatest ever players. You just have to give him that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with keeping Collins as captain when Seamus is there, because it just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that as well. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Collins to be captain and perform, and I think he needs to focus on that more than being a captain, to be honest. And Coleman is the natural leader of that group. And I know he's not always been around it with injuries and things, but you know, it's just it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Really. I mean, I think back to 2016, the Euros and stuff. It was all a bit, the captaincy around that time, I think, was flip flopping even in the Euros because of selections and stuff. So, I think it's important that you do obviously pick someone and make sure they are the natural leader. And I think, you know, that's what you alluded to, isn't it? Having Egan back as well. He's been a previous captain when Coleman wasn't fit.
Well,
so
yeah, I don't mind the thing of Collins being captain when Coleman isn't there, or if Coleman's on the bench. But I just don't get it. If Coleman's on the pitch, you give him the armband. Simple as. I think it just demands that respect, and I think it's the sort of thing you respect. When you respect these sort of players, you just give them the armband. Like, it shows the respect to Coleman. I just think it undermines them, but I just think it's wrong not to give him the armband when he's on the pitch.
I'd agree with you, because in a sense, if you think about Ronaldo, right, for Portugal as captain, he will, whenever he's on the pitch, he'll have that armband, won't he? Because probably the ego though as well. But I don't think anyone else would not be giving him the armband. And that's big names as well when they're like Bruno. If he was on the same pitch as him, he'd be going, no, you are the captain. It is that respect, I think. So yeah, it's quite telling in a way.
Has Dave retired another Irishman? Because if you didn't notice there, who's not on IBIG for defenders?
Who? Duffy.
No, it's in the squad.
No. Oh, that's an Ireland player that's in the squad.
Yeah, and it's not on IBIG because Dave removed them.
Manning.
No.
What is it? In the Ireland squad? Did he put Egan in it?
No, Egan's not in IBIG. Hasn't been in it for a while.
He's not.
Dave removed him because he's never playing for Ireland. He's not playing for Ireland again. He's not going to play for Ireland again.
Well, he did retire. He did actually retire Robbie Brady about 3 years ago.
Yeah, so he done the same with Egan. So, tell you what, start Egan on Saturday. Probably better. Actually, I seen a video of Darryl Shea today of him in this team talk just before the Norwich game on the pitch, saying how much it means and how much it means to the players and they win this game, and looked like a proper leader. And I think you can see why he's captain, but I don't know. We don't see it for Ireland, but at least it shows he has it. But we need to see it for Ireland because he hasn't shown it for Ireland. But I do think maybe if he's in the back three with Egan, it might help a bit. That's more leadership around him. Yeah,
it's an interesting. What age is Darryl Shea?
26, I think.
So he's older than Collins, isn't he? And
Collins
is as you know, the captain now in the future of it, like and kind of surpassed him, I suppose. But really, it should have been the other way around. Like, you would kind of question the personality of O'Shea then with that. Like he is a club captain elsewhere, and just his, you know, that leadership skills, he probably has to step up. He's very experienced, like, you know, and he can play everywhere as well. I like Darryl Shea, but I think that's an interesting one, actually, just thinking about that. Right, we'll come on to the midfield. Here we go. So, okay, midfielders who can qualify for Ireland, of course, and are not retired. Jason Knight out injured at the moment, Bristol City, sadly. Killian Phillips, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss versus Kilmarnock for St Mirren. Will Smallbone, cousin Will, 78 minutes, 3-0 win versus West Brom for Millwall. Jack Taylor, an unused sub for Ipswich. John Joe Patrick Finn, not in the squad, Stad Reign. Josh Cullen, 90 minutes and a 2-1 loss versus Aston Villa. Finn Azaz, 10 minutes and a 1-1 draw versus Derby for Southampton. Mark Sykes, 55 minutes, 2-1 loss versus QPR. Jason Malumbi, 90 minutes, 3-0 win versus Millwall. And Andy Moran, 25 minutes, a 1-0 win versus Atlanta. Jamie McGrath, 76 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Hearts for Hibs. Alan Brown, 21 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Portsmouth, playing for Borough. And Boston Lowell, sadly out injured, King Boston. And Conor Coventry, 90 minutes, 2-0 loss versus Preston North End for Charlton. And Joe Hodge out injured for Tondela.
I don't actually know.
Midfielders.
I don't know if Joe Hodge is injured or not. He just wasn't in the squad, so I just presumed he was injured. So, because he would have been playing and he just wasn't in the squad, so just presumed he was injured.
And just 10 minutes for Finn Azaz there. Should we be worried about that?
I don't think so. It's the same. The manager gave him 10 minutes. The manager spent 15 million on him. So, no, I think it's just that he's just been in bad form and he has to work his way back into the team really, because he's not been playing well since signing for Southampton. In all honesty, Josh Cullen had another very good game in the Premier League at the weekend, showing he is at that level. But you see the difference in playing with Ireland and playing with Burnley. He's so much more aggressive. He's so much more takes more risks playing with Burnley. He tries to make a pass happen. He's an aggressive number 6. He's not the number 6 that just sits and tries to dictate play the whole game. It was like even under Kenny, he used to be Kenny's man. He would build the midfield around. Now he just seems like he's just another option in midfield. And I don't know. I think whatever way we can get, if we can get Cullen playing to the exact same system he does with Burnley, with Ireland, he would see so much better version of Josh Cullen, because the current version we see is not playing to a strength. I know it's only Josh Cullen, but we need it. If it probably is our best midfielder, so if we want to see him play to his best, we probably need to play for his strengths. So I don't know if you think the same too.
Well, I really like Josh Cullen. I think I think time will be kind to him and show how important he is to Ireland. Like it was to Glenn Whelan. To be honest, Glenn Whelan used to get hammered by Irish fans.
But I don't think it's
retrospectively now people say, "Oh, Glenn Whelan was retired too early as he was," but
I don't think it'll be the same with Cullen, because we'll just look back in this era and just say the players and we didn't achieve it. And whereas we can say, well, Glenn Whelan was there, we actually achieved stuff. Like people are saying now, like if we really like if Cullen, we get to a World Cup and Cullen then goes after that and we fall apart in midfield, maybe we can say that. But I think at the current present moment, because the midfield is just so bad and we just can't control the game, I don't think you can really say that in a couple of years' time, because he hasn't we haven't.
But I think he's very important, and that's the thing. And I still don't know the answer, because you wouldn't ask the question of Mark, where was Malumbi in the last squad? Why didn't you ask that question, Conor? We
ask better questions. I'll ask better questions. Like, why is Jack Taylor in the squad?
Did you ask that one?
Jack Taylor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Stand corrected to demand the orthopedic shoes. But yeah. Ask the Malumbi one. But yeah, I do like Josh Cullen. I think he does a really good job for Ireland. Very safe, of course, and I think probably he's just trying to do too much, because he knows he's alongside players who are not that role. Like, we tried to make another number 6 out of Jason Knight, for example, who, as I've always said in this podcast, he has played all over the place for Ireland and just been kind of shoehorned into positions where he's going to always get 7 out of 10 and be consistent, but never actually the best thing about his game, which I actually don't know what it is now, because that's happened so much to him. He's just been a fall guy for like fitting into a system, and we know we're going to get an honest pros performance in there. So Josh Cullen has sat alongside him sometimes, and you're trying to work the 2 number 6s in a sense. Whereas I'm actually quite happy now Malumbi's back in there for Portugal, because I think that's the job they both do. And we'll understand it without. You might see more of Cullen actually on the ball going forward, and creating this time. But it's just breaking up play a lot of the time. But the midfielders over the years for Ireland has been, Josh Cullen gets a lot of not hate, but it's criticism, I suppose. And he played injured the last time, of course. But we've had some awful, not like Keith Andrews was decent in there. Glenn Whelan I thought was very good, but we had Paul Green in midfield for Ireland, and I never really rated him. Myler was another one. David Myler, I didn't massively rate him. They were by a lot of them.
He was good at the end of his career. Not this when he first came to Ireland, he was quite poor, but he finished quite well. If you get me,
he did. Yeah. He got into it in the end. Yeah. So, but yeah, look, we've got a lot of even that midfield though. As we said, there are a lot of them just much too much, aren't they? Whoever goes in there, you haven't got a star player that you're thinking in midfield.
One of them comes out. Boston. That's where we rely on Boston, but it's too late. If anyone's seen Heimer's interview with Tony Donoghue saying about how Boston, he thinks such a shame that he's injured and he's the future of that position and stuff, but it just feels too late to say that now. Like,
I mean, it's just fucking nonsense. I mean,
yeah.
that is rubbish. That should have been the conversation Tony O'Donoghue had with him. Excited for this camp, and he can say I'm excited for the future of the midfield with Boston Lowell because of what he did in June, and yet he picked John Joe Patrick Finn above him. And I know he came in late to that, but still, we've been calling out for a long time. And as we've said, John O'Shea likes him, and we know what he can do. And the under-21s, he's been really, really good there. I mean, we've seen the great start he's had for Stoke and stuff, and then. Yeah, he's sad he's injured, but you can't then talk about him as if when he hasn't even had a cap. That's just nonsense.
He's talking about it like he's devastated he's not in the squad when he's been in two of his squads and not used him in either.
Yeah,
like I hope
it's just rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet Tony O'Donoghue didn't ask him that question. That's like, why? What's the relevance of that comment? Why didn't you use him then? That's an obvious question, isn't it? You'd have asked that, Conor.
Oh, I definitely would have fucking asked him that. I'll tell you that for free. I can't ask another Boston question at the presser until unless there's a reason to, because I've already asked it twice. People are like, what's wrong with this fella? Has he got too much love for this guy?
Sensation. Right. But even just to the Raw faithful watching along, make sure you do go back and watch the press conference, because it does feature our very own Conor. Very proud of him up there and asking the key questions and challenging.
Why is Jack Taylor in the squad? He didn't play again. I did you see an Instagram story? Like, I'm not against somebody saying this is for you, the fans. Like, you didn't play a minute, mate. Come on, you did not. Yeah. You did not
at all.
Yeah, I hate people do that. Someone wins a final or something, and they sit in the bench for 90 minutes and they celebrate like Rhian Brewster done it when Liverpool won the Champions League. It's like, calm down, mate. You done nothing. Like, if I was me, I wouldn't feel part of it. I wouldn't feel like I've achieved that. And maybe if you're that level of footballer, but I just don't think it. Even Roy Keane,
still doesn't feel like 99, does it?
Yeah, but even though I think that's a bit weird, I think that one's a bit more weird. Yeah. I think it would feel worse if you were sitting on the bench as an unused sub and you haven't contributed. I think if you're injured or you're suspended and you knew you were definitely going to be playing, it's a bit different. But if you're on the bench as unused sub and the manager thinks you're not good enough to make an impact, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, no, okay. Right, now on to the attackers. Here we go. So our forwards for Ireland, there's many of them. Festia Basile, fantastic to have them back in the squad. 15 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Gostepe. Evan Ferguson, unused sub for Roma. Adamida, 10 minutes and a goal was first for Swansea in a 3-1 win versus Leicester. Casey McAteer, an unused sub for Ipswich Town in the derby. Troy Parrott, 20 minutes. He's back. 2-1 win versus Telstar. Sammy Szmodics, 86 minutes, 2-1 win versus Norwich, and now has pulled out the squad with injury. Sinclair Armstrong, 22 minutes, 2-1 loss versus QPR, his former club. Mikey Johnson, 89 minutes, 3-0 loss versus Millwall. And Rocco Batta, 70 minutes and 2-1 win versus Oxford for the Watford man. Tom Cannon, 30 minutes and a 1-0 loss versus Hull for Sheffield United. Chidozie Ogbene, 90 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Hull for Sheffield United, where he's on loan. Michael Obafemi, not in the squad for Bochum. And Tyler Goodrum, I don't know how he's still on no big, unused sub, Oxford United. Adomo Imaku, 9 minutes, 3-0 win versus West Brom. Johnny Kenny, an unused sub for Celtic. And Louis Barry, 9 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Hull Sheffield United. And as Tyler Goodrum was included, I might as well just add Martin Prendergast didn't play for Enfield Town this weekend, and neither did Conor McAvoy play for Monaghan. There might be it's as relevant as Tyler Goodrum being in it, to be honest.
No, he's gone very bad. He's gone very backwards. I don't know what's happened. He was doing very well. He's gone back really bad. I don't know what's happened. So maybe it's changed formation or something's just ruled him out of playing regularly. But yeah, I know Rocco didn't score at the weekend, but it was good to see him scoring midweek, get his first goal of the season, and got an assist as well. Very good. I know the goal was kind of just bounced off and went in, but the assist was very good. as well, and I suppose he had a good game at the weekend as well. I didn't see that one. Adamida got his first goal for Swansea, which was great to see. I know they lost 3-1, but he stepped up from the penalty spot again, especially at the new club, has the ball to take a penalty and got his first goal, hopefully the first of many. I know that'll probably mean a lot to him. It's very hard to get off the mark at a new club. Yeah, and the other forwards, obviously the big news is Troy back in after missing such a long time. Is it 21st of August or something? The last time we played a match and got 20 minutes and got through it injury free at the weekend, which is huge at this stage for us Ireland. Like, even though Mr. Hamilton said he wouldn't be involved for the Portugal game, which still doesn't add up, especially the fact that we now only have 23 men in the squad. So it means he's going to be in the squad for 100% on Saturday. And yeah, we've got to talk about the other big talking point is the possibility that Mr. Ferguson could miss out on Saturday due to injuries, and it was reported in the Italian media he is a possible doubt, but I don't think I think he'll play. I think we'll be all right. I think Ferguson will play on Saturday. But yeah, it would be a massive hit if he's our best player at the end of the day, and it'll be a massive hit to where we're trying to achieve and what we want to do as a country if he's out injured for the biggest game so far of the group. And I was very worried the weekend when I seen Dybala come on after 60 minutes or 55 minutes for Dobbik. It says all about Dobbik. He's getting hooked after 55 minutes. And I was thinking, why are they bringing Dybala on from? And then when I seen Gasperini speaking after, saying that it was because of injuries, and it was obvious that Dybala is not number 9. We just had to do it because Ferguson was injured. And it was clear that he wanted to bring Evan on, but he couldn't bring him on because he's carried that injury. He got an MRI scan Saturday, but he was able to be on the bench the Sunday. So obviously you think it's not serious at all or anything, or the results came back good, but it always is disappointing when you see Evan pick up particularly an ankle injury after that prick Fabinho done it to him a couple of years ago. I don't know whether it was the same ankle, but hopefully this is not something that's going to linger for the rest of his career.
Incredible, really. Like Evan Ferguson, just had a quick look there. It's 24 caps. He's the age of 20. I mean, he probably will be Ireland's record appearance holder, unless maybe Kelleher. It's come a little bit late.
Injuries, Kelleher's it's too late for Kelleher unless his injuries and tournaments. But yeah, we will qualify. Yeah, we'll start qualifying again soon. But
yeah, he could be though. I mean, 24 caps. I mean, the pressure on him as well. We've got to be realistic about that, you know. And what I do want to see, and I know we've mentioned it actually, it's in the intro of Fantastic Fanzine. Is going to give a shout out to that, because you know Dave makes the point that in Armenia, you know, Evan got absolutely smashed and no one came to his aid. That can't happen again, and that it wouldn't happen, I believe, if Seamus Coleman had been on the pitch. And you know, we've got to look after him, and he is our main player now. You know, saying that though, if he is injured, you know, I'm really happy that Ida's got that move now. And to be fair to Ida, I think he does have a lot of confidence in himself. He has stepped up before for Ireland and performed, and you know, he will take penalties and things, and you just don't know with him what you can get out of him sometimes. So, you know, this Portugal game is important, obviously, but it's more important Tuesday because that's the one that keeps us in the group. Obviously, if we have to get a win there. So, I think Ireland will set up differently, as I said. But we want to get your views. What do you think Ireland will do tactically? Let us know if you're happy. Give us your starting teams as well. We will obviously get through to all of your comments this evening as well. So thank you for joining us. Just over 1,000 people watching along. Anything else from Obig of note with the strikers that you wanted to mention? Are we still struggling, Sinclair Armstrong?
No. Do we just throw them up front against Portugal and just tell them chase after the ball for 90 minutes and just cause havoc? That's the sort of thing. I mean, yeah, that's what you could do. Actually, if any other striker, I'd probably just call up and just tell him just to cause havoc. To be honest, because that's what he would do against Portugal. Because they wouldn't know how to really. Because you don't really get a striker like him that often these days. No. It's more of like there isn't really many like him. It's kind of like that Darwin Núñez type where he's so unpredictable, but he will just be a nightmare to play against for 90 minutes. Like Jackson as well, but yeah, he just hasn't been scoring, but he is getting more and more minutes. He actually done. I watched him come off the bench on Wednesday or Tuesday against Ipswich, and he was very, very good off the bench. He caused Darragh O'Shea a lot of trouble. And the keeper actually made a brilliant save from him for Ipswich. But he actually caused a lot of trouble, and you can see why. You can see why he has been highly rated, and he is still highly rated. And actually, the team that beat Istanbul Fest team again, Gatepe what's it, Pepe, whatever you call him, tried to sign him there in the summer, but Bristol City didn't refuse to sell him. So obviously he's shown in training he's still is that player, and he just offers something so different. But yeah, and in fairness, Aaron Connolly scored at the weekend, got an assist. Callum Robinson scored twice again. In fairness, Callum Robinson's flying at the moment in that game between Leyton Orient and Cardiff. Another win for Brian Barry Murphy, a late winner. But there was a lot of Irish involved in that game. Joe Began, Teo Darola, Jack Morehouse came off the bench. So yeah, it was good to see actually Callum Robinson doing well. It's good to see how obviously Irish lads at every level doing well, but it's good to see him because he's a player that fans actually liked, and he was that cult hero Sammy Szmodics for quite a while, and what he done in Ireland jersey was a million times what Sammy Szmodics ever done. He scored more goals against Qatar than Sammy Szmodics has scored in his career for Ireland. So yeah, good to see him do well, and good Connolly as well, because we all know what Connolly's been through over the last 2 years or so, and he's got his 4th goal of the season. So the thing is, Connie's an excellent finisher. He's an excellent footballer overall. He has all the tools. I know he's quite small, but he still has all the tools, and he has shown it in the past. He's just mentally, it's been a real challenge. But I just hope that now he's doing really well at Leyton Orient, that he's can keep up that flying form.
Yeah, best of luck to him, because it's a brilliant kind of story in a way that he was so brave to come out with that. And it's just sliding doors moments for him. He went through that time, missed. And that could have been it, really, but fantastic player. So yeah, hope he does well and continues to do so. But there are other Irish players who are nominated for awards, which we wanted to share with you as well. This is Aaron Drinnan from Swindon, Player of the Month nominee for the League Two fans PFA award, and that's for September. So how's he getting on? Doing well, obviously.
Yeah, a top goal scorer in the EFL. 8 goals this season. Unfortunately, it should probably be more at this stage, because he got injured in the warm-up the other day for Swindon, so he missed their game against Newport, I believe. So obviously he was a big loss for them. He's their main man. He's probably League 2 player of the year so far. I'm guessing he'll win player of the month, to be honest with you. He scored in 6 games in a row, 8 goals in the EFL this season, top goal scorer in the EFL. I'm sure he probably mightn't be in League 2 after January if he keeps scoring at this rate, or next season, because Swindon will look to go up, because like when you play Gavin Kilkenny in your team, it's an unbelievable chance when he's not a League 2 player. God knows how he ever ended up there, to be honest with you. But yeah, good to see a lad at that level doing really well, and I don't think he'll be in League 2 much longer, whether it's January or the end of the season, because he is really tearing that league apart with Swindon, and hopefully his injury isn't serious and he can come back maybe at the weekend. Hopefully he got injured in the warm-up the other day, actually. That's where he got injured. So yeah, but go on, you're just too excited. I'm
so excited. This is King Bosson out injured, sadly. It still sickens me. King Bosson, he's eligible as well and been nominated for Player of the Month nominee for the Championship Fans Player of the Month. King Bosson, I mean, how likely is he to win that? I mean, there must have been some quite a good competition, I suppose, in there, but he was really consistent, wasn't he, for the injury?
Yeah, he was outstanding in September, probably best defender, and I hate saying best defender because we don't want him playing defense, but he has. That's where he's been playing. He's been the best defender in the championship so far this season. 100%. If there's a Player of the Year award so far, he'd probably be top 3 anyway. But I don't know if I don't think he'll win it, to be honest with you, because he's a defender at the end of the day, and they don't like giving these sort of awards to defenders. It's whoever scores goals, and if a player scores 1 goal a game over the month, they'll probably win it. I can't remember. I know Luke Ayling is the only other defender. That's what I noticed, because I was checking to see if he was the only defender nominated, but Luke Ayling, Middlesbrough fullback, got nominated. But yeah, it's good to see him get that recognition on a bigger stage, because he got Stoke City's Player of the Month, and then sometimes you see with these Irish lads, they get ignored and not shown they're not given the publicity that they deserve at this level. And yeah, he's torn it up. He's been unbelievable for Stoke. You see their fans are devastated. He's gone off. He's out for a couple of weeks injured. But the reality is he's only going to miss maybe 2-3 weeks of club action because of his injury. He'll be back in the start of November, if not before. And he obviously, the international break is probably coming at a good time for his club's sake, but it's devastating for Ireland, because he would have got minutes at some stage this window. I think we actually predicted, didn't we, that we asked each other what we thought he was going to play, and I still think he only got 7 minutes or something against Armenia, just to give him his debut, to keep the masses happy, which would have just been a token gesture as such. But yeah, he's had an outstanding start to the season. I don't think there was an August Player of the Month award. I don't think, but he's definitely September. I would, if it was just based off performances, but you know what these awards are like. They just give it to whoever scores the most amount of goals, and whoever bags them will end up getting it.
Yep. Okay. And the PL2 Player of the Month September, Romeo Akachakwu He's been nominated as well. Tell us about him, Conor. There you go.
Yeah, another unbelievable player. If you see him on the screen, because I know it might be harder, so people see top row, second from the left. Romeo Akachukwu, ex-Waterford man, who is tearing it up at Southampton, doing unbelievably well. I know Will still is a big fan of him, but it's probably not a great time to bring him into the first team with just how much of a mess they are. Maybe he can help them get him out of a mess. But yeah, Ireland 21 international. I know he's actually been playing through a bit of a hamstring injury at the moment. Show how well he's doing. He got a goal and an assist in the month of September. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists so far to start the season so far in Premier League 2, and he's been playing as a number 10, but also I think he's better really as a number 8 as such. But I think what's happened love him so much is that he's so good in both positions, that he's so unique as a player really, because he has that bit of, you won't like this, but he has a bit of Pogba about him, where he can pick up the ball in the middle of the park and drive past 4 or 5 men, or use a bit of athleticism he has to shield the ball, and just his size, he's massive and he's athletically brilliant. He's outstanding on the ball, whether taking it on the half turn or slipping balls in behind. I think he has it all really to be the future of the Ireland midfield. I think he's one of the players that you look at and you think he has to be not in Ireland squad, not long future, because you think he'll just naturally, with his talent he has, he'll eventually be playing at a very high level. All League of Ireland fans would have seen it when he was at Waterford. I remember he came on in a playoff semi-final at RSC and came on after 60 minutes and scored a hat-trick to send Waterford through to the final, which ended up Waterford getting promoted from. And you can see real class there. I haven't seen the goal at under 17 euros. He probably scored the greatest goal in Irish international football history against Wales, I think it was, that game, where it was a team moving and he picked it up for 45 yards out and smashed it in the top corner. It was outrageous. And yeah, it's he's an unbelievable player. I remember watching him against France under 19s last season, and I remember for about 60 minutes of the game in total, he completely dominated and looked the best player on the pitch. So yeah, he's an outstanding player. He won't be long before he's given me. If he's not given a chance to happen, there'll be big clubs chasing him, whether it's on loan or a permanent deal, because he's just too good to be really ignored at this stage. And yeah, he's in the under 21 squad at the moment. I don't know if he'll play this week because the problem is only one game, and all the other lads will probably play over him, are probably playing regular first team football, which is the issue. And Jim Crawford's massive in first team football, whether he's a better player than the others or not. I would argue that he probably is. But yeah, the excitement level, I think, of having him and Jimmy Mullins playing together, I think would be a joy to watch. It would probably be the most exciting midfield duo I think we would have really in a long time in Irish football level, in terms of just both of them having that just unreal footballing ability.
Yeah, I mean, on the subject of under 21s, in action on Friday, October 10th in Turner's Cross in Cork. Tickets still available for that. But yeah, really talented squad. And just want to wish James McManus as well as part of that squad, member of Risk London, my own supporters club here in London. I'm a chairman of. He's a member of our club, season ticket holder, obviously, as well. And I just want to wish him the very best of luck as well. But yeah, look, it's a really talented squad, as you know, Conor.
Yeah.
And you were there chatting to, was it Jamie Mullins today? And who else was it again?
Noah Johnny, the goalkeeper, the number one. Rest. It was good to chat to them too today, which you'll be able to hear in a week. Yeah, 2 very nice fellas and 2 excellent footballers who have massive futures in the game. I think people have heard me speak about Jamie Mullins, how good I think he is in terms of his ability. He's outstanding. He's one of the midfielders we never really produced in Ireland. So yeah, it'd be good to listen to later in the week, Brendy. And he said he's watched Lansdowne roar before, which is always good to see. So that makes him go up in our books even further, doesn't it? Really? But exactly. Yeah, we'll probably speak about tomorrow. I don't know if we said the win will be later. No, it'll be out Wednesday, won't it? Because unfortunately, if you didn't know, there is a third person on this podcast, David Dunn, but we don't know where he is. But he said he's about tomorrow at some stage to record, so we'll be recording with him tomorrow actually, and he needs to do a League of Ireland with me as well if he's alive. He sees this. We have to record a League of Ireland, and he has to roar retro with you as well. So he's a lot to catch up on here, Martin, doesn't he? He's just disappeared. And actually, if you are just people watching, if you haven't subscribed to Roar Plus yet, tomorrow as well on Roar Plus there will be Team of the Week video up, which is now a new segment on that where Rep Tracker picks his Irish abroad Team of the Week from players abroad, and it'll be a lot more positive than last week, because I did pick a team last week which lads were doing well, but it was a negative week overall. Last weekend was a bit of an improvement. Hopefully maybe after the international break it'll be even more, but yeah, that'll be out tomorrow at some stage, and we'll have more content on Roar Plus and me and Chandler the rest of the week. But yeah, that's just on the awards, and it's good to have lads getting an award nominated for individual awards, because as good as it is to be good as a collective, you want to see lads getting these individual awards to show their quality.
Yeah, and on the subject of awards again, that's just a perfect example for me to just say, vote for me, not the lads, vote for me and the Football Content Awards. No, vote for us, best international podcast out there. Your vote means a lot. We are representing Ireland as far as I'm concerned. So make sure you do vote for that. It costs you nothing, and it does mean the world to us for your support. And thank you again for watching this evening. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, share it as well, all the usual. And
we're on 19 likes.
Look at the amazing content that Conor's given you tonight, the insight into all these young up-and-coming players. We like to promote Irish football. We like to promote fans as well who are doing things, amazing stuff. I know a lot of you. We do a lot of work with Heads in the Game, fantastic charity promoting, obviously, positivity of mental health and things. But another person I'm going to give a shout-out to before we come into your comments is a good friend of mine, Naam McNamee, fantastic actor, singer-songwriter. He's on tour in Ireland. It's his debut album is coming out, Glass and Mirrors. He's been on the pod with me before, massive Leeds fan. His dad is a member of Risk London as well. He does go to Ireland games as well. He's coming over to the game for the home game in Armenia.
Are you sure?
And
are you sure we should advertise it, Leeds fan?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. I've had this conversation with him in the past. This is the only thing we don't see eye to eye on. But like, he's on tour in Ireland. I would recommend highly go and catch him. Check out him on Spotify. He's a fantastic actor as well. He's been in a number of films. He's actually in the new Saipan film coming up as well. He plays Alan Kelly in that, and he's given me some fantastic insight. We're going to get him on the pod very soon as well to give us some insight into the making of that film, of course. But yeah, he's been on Irish radio recently because he's obviously on tour in Ireland. So do catch him. Well worth seeing. He's doing Dublin, Kilkenny, Cork, Limerick, Galway, and Donegal, Belfast as well, and then he's doing a load of London dates as well. So
why did you say Belfast as well?
I said Belfast.
Like
well.
Belfast
I looked at the gap. I looked at the gap for November, and then he's back in England, Southampton. But then I know he's actually going to be he's rescheduling some of these gigs as well. But there's his dates, and make sure you do go and see him because he's absolutely brilliant live.
Do you get free tickets?
He's got a fantastic fan base. Like, obviously, I'm one of them, but we have such a crack going to his gigs, and you see so many famous actors and singers and stuff because it's just a fantastic night out. Honestly, Kean, real rep tracker Kean, absolutely loves it, man. We have a great crack going because it's always football stuff being chatted about as well. And massive Leeds fan, I said, his dad, I was with him at the last Ireland home game. Jerry, really good lad as well. He's done a Leeds podcast in the past, so fantastic. So yeah, best of luck to Niall on that. We're going to get him on the pod because, as I said, I've often ended up going for a few pints with him, and he gives me such insight into all these films and all these backstories of actors and who are into football and not. And yeah, it's an interesting industry that. But yeah, so best of luck to him, and make sure you do go and catch him live because he's really, really good to see. Right, we're going to get on to a bit that I absolutely love doing, and it goes off on a massive segue often. But this is your comment. Thanks again. Over 1,200 of you watching here on a Monday night. So thank you for your support of Lansdowne Roar, of course. And this is the essential place where you need to be for the whole window because we will be in Lisbon on Friday and Saturday. The lads are going to be there doing pre-match. As soon as the team's announced, we do our pre-match show. You can give your insight and views back into the lads on that. When we don't perform very well, which has been often the case, you often get a rant from Conor or Dave. And after the match as well, we'll be there from inside the stadium, Wi-Fi permitting, so you can give all your comments and feedback then as well. But we'll be around Lisbon.
Yeah, we'll be around Lisbon. Are you going to the Armenia game?
A home game, yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't heard it from you because you're talking about fucking Lisbon. I was like, is Mr. Prendergast going to the Armenia game or not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, good.
I am season ticket holder. Before you were born, I think, season ticket holder, to be honest. Young pup. Jesus, sometimes you have to put these kids back in their places.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I will be there. Yeah. Old man. Listen, I've seen us in a World Cup live. Have you?
Yeah,
you seen us in a World Cup next year?
I did. It was just 2
years. Just hang on.
It was about a month old.
There you go. That was brilliant.
Still seen it.
Jesus, I do feel old. How old are you then?
For what?
2002?
A month. When did the tournament start? In June or July?
June.
Yeah, I was a month old.
Jesus Christ, you've not lived. And Euro 2016, obviously Euro 2012 as well. So what tournament do you remember first then?
The very first term I
Right,
really
well,
remember.
Yeah.
Like in general,
Yeah.
the South Africa World Cup 2010.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Diego
It's a good
Forlan.
one.
That was a great one. Now I love
Oh,
that was
yeah.
my favorite. That was my
Yeah.
favorite ever tournament I've watched. But that was kind of just probably because of the
I
age
bet
stuff.
seems to
But
be
it
top
was
scorer in that.
yeah, you had Forlan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Forlan
World
used to be
Cup
my
one.
favorite player for years as a kid. After that,
Oh,
him and
Jesus.
him and Wesley Schneider and Iron Robin used to love all them.
Brilliant. Yeah, that is a time. Right. Here we go. This is your comments. We'll stop reminiscing now. But OR House OR_house. Hi lads. I would like to get your opinions on what formation Heimer will go for the Portugal game. I would love to see him go with a back three of Collins, O'Shea, and Egan. Any views on that?
Yeah, I
Conor?
think I actually think I'd somewhat agree because it worked before against with. I know it was different players, but even the France game at home where we done quite well. Dave likes it dismissed for some reason, for some weird reason. But we have to think of when we done well against a top opposition, and we had Egan playing as a centre, Collins on the right, and O'Shea on the left of that back three. So I wouldn't be against going for that. Yeah, I think I probably would go for that.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I could see it happening, but I mean, I think Coleman might come in for this game. I just have a feeling with it. I think he might go with him as back in the back three as well. Is my view on that. Again, OR House again. Watched the Rovers game last night, and Dylan Watts was amazing. Do you think his shot of sneaking into an Ireland squad in future?
If he was more consistent, last season he was the best player in the League of Ireland. He was unbelievable, but this year I don't think he hasn't had his usual elite standards. Maybe because of the fact of Matt Healy coming into the team and kind of everything goes through him now at the start. But yeah, he's an unbelievable player, Dylan Watts. But I don't know if with the fact that Matt Healy's in that midfield now, it kind of takes away a lot of what we see Dylan Watts do. Yeah, he definitely has a chance in the future, but I just don't know if he'd have to stay at Rovers or not.
And this, no doubt, will get mentioned on the League of Ireland show that Conor will be doing with Dave very soon. Graham Burke is a lucky man. Yeah, I've seen this. He was a lucky man, wasn't he? And that was in the semi-final against Kerry.
Ridiculous. Should have been sent off. If it was it was the other way around, and it was Joe Adams had done it to him, he was 1,000,000% getting sent off.
Yeah. Owen Brosnan, again, thanks for your support, regular viewer. Where are you lads going drinking in Lisbon on Friday?
I don't know.
Well,
to be honest with
you,
you tell me.
Let out, don't you? Yeah, I've had a few people say a few places to me, but yeah, we've got some bars that we put in to the fanzine again. Give a mention out to that, and that will be in the show link notes here. So.
Yeah. Basically, Owen, wherever has a Fire Stick or wherever has OTE player that we can watch the 21s, or if not, I'll be watching in my apartment with the VPN on the player with a few cans in front of me.
A bag of cans. Yeah. Could be the way, but no, I'm sure people will have the Fire Stick with them. So yeah, that has to get on somewhere, doesn't it? I mean, they'd be stupid not to show that. Franco, how you doing, Franco? Regular viewer, supporter of Lansdowne Roar as well. I would just like to know who is actually available at this point and why Andy Moran still has not been called up. See, listening to Conor, a Conor fan there. Why has Andy Moran still not been called up? Nick as well. Will we call up another player along with Will Ferry since both Szmodics and O'Dowd have dropped out? Well, they've confirmed they've only called up Will Ferry, so that's the 23-man squad. And we can only speculate as well that obviously Troy and Evan Ferguson are fit as well at the moment.
Yeah. And the thing he said of call up a 24-man as Troy Hart because it was the question were Troy's fitness. That's why, because he wasn't considering him for the first game. But obviously, since playing 20 minutes the weekend, he's come into the camp and they've assessed him and he's good. So yeah.
Yep. Okay. Nick also says good opportunity for Ferry. He's been the best left back in the SPL. Nick Can also says looking like Portugal will be the end of the current Irish senior team management and some players. Okay. I did see actually a bit of team news. Did you see Portugal?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Neves is out, isn't he?
Yeah, Joe Neves is out. Not Ruben Neves, Joe Neves. If anyone gets confused, Joe Neves is the one that's actually one of the best midfielders in the world. Yeah. But thank God he's out. Even though the reality is it'll probably replace some god of a midfielder that this is just out of this world. But yeah, good to see him. Good to see him back in, actually. And actually just players of injury. I don't know why it's come to it, but we forgot to mention Victor Osimhen's transfer at Arsenal was confirmed. Because we've already spoke about it so much on the show. whilst it was rumoured and whilst it was said it was completed, but glad that just is over the line and that deal is done. Obviously, it's a record transfer to League of Ireland, but well worth it for a player of that talent.
Yep, no, interesting as well. Seeing some of the Twitter comments and things on that, yeah, bit interesting, of course. And I actually seen, I think it kind of is related to obviously Ireland's game, but the Hungary goalkeeper, first choice goalkeeper, he's out, isn't he, for the Armenia game?
Is it the crap one that played against us?
No, the one who played, yeah.
Oh, he's useless.
Yeah,
he's stone useless.
Anyway, so yeah. So that's in because that Armenia game again. Let's just remember that on match day in Saturday in Lisbon, Armenia Hungary will be playing just before that. So we'll probably all kind of be checking that out on a Fire Stick somewhere or refreshing phones and
imagine the scenes if Armenia win. Oh my god, that'd be a nightmare. Did Mkhitaryan never came back? Did he?
No.
No. Remember he said he was going to speak to them.
Yeah. Donny Nagel was following the LAFC game late last night. Andy Moran came on after 65 minutes. Says it all. A player with zero ambition going there to sit on the bench, and we want him for Ireland.
What were you doing up last, Donny? What were you doing up last? I think it was at 2:00. Even I didn't sit up last night to watch it. In fairness, I was going away, but yeah, it's in all honesty, was not surprised he didn't start because the thing with the MLS is when you have games in hand, they go into the international break. And MLS are missing Son and Boanga during the international break and maybe one other. So they have 2 games in the space of this week. And it wouldn't really probably make sense to start Andy in last night to go play another game next week or 2 games next week. They probably want to leave the lads that are not going to be going away in international break, make sure they're fit because they're going to be down. Technically, it's basically like they are missing Son and Boanga through injury. So there was no point risking Andy and especially Atlanta have been really, really poor this season compared to used to be the big spenders and stuff. So, and I seen someone told me that he done quite well when he came on last night, and he was unbelievable in the game. He was unbelievable, but he was top class in that first start he had, and he'll start next week. And I'll have no surprise that he'll be outstanding again, and I'll be thinking, what is going on here? Becker was right again. But yeah, he should be in the squad. He should have been in the squad over Szmodics anyway, Martin, to be honest with you. And it's just a cop out not picking him. And before anyone thinks, it's not because of prices of flights are at. It's just that he's just been ignored.
Yep. Okay. Nick also says LAFC would batter teams in the championship. So yes, I would like Moran to be called up. Thanks. Donny Nagel said that's just guesswork because they haven't or won't play each other. Moran doesn't deserve to be in any squad. End of.
But is that not guesswork when people always complain about the MLS, how shit the MLS is and there's a Farmers League? Is that not guesswork? I don't know if you have that opinion, but like just to put your logic to what other people say about the MLS.
Yep. Okay. Baylor, Dizzy's #1 fan, being called up for Portugal game along with Catherine Connolly.
Did you see the video? Is that AI or not? If I didn't keep you uppies.
Oh no, I didn't see it. Got to be AI. There's some mad AI stuff now, though, isn't there? Jesus, I saw something the other day. It's fucking well disturbing. Anyway, Ed M watched Ipswich Norwich. Sammy wasn't great. Nick says half the Peckham squad don't deserve to be there, Donny. So why not call up Moran? And Nick Cannon also says maybe players pulling out see the Irish team getting hockeyed in Portugal and don't want to be associated with this current team. Well, if that is the view, we don't want them anyway, do we?
Yeah, and I've actually heard that Andy Moran has been unbelievable in training. They can't believe how good he is for LAFC. I've heard he's been unbelievable, and they are desperate to sign him on a permanent deal, which obviously would give mixed opinions if he's out there permanently from an Irish point of view. But if he's playing with Son every game and tearing up the MLS, it's not a bad league to be because he wouldn't be there. Because the reality is, I think what LAFC would want is have him for 2 years, maybe, and have him absolutely tear it up and then sell him back to Europe and make massive profit on him.
Did you see the FAI posting that, O'Dowd is out the squad and then they had the photo of him hugging Ronaldo? Did you see that?
Are you sure it was FAI?
I think it was.
Because the thing I posted, it was just the Will Ferry thing. It was a picture of Will Ferry and then it said Szmodics and
maybe not. Well, there's definitely a photo out there of announcing it. Yeah, I think so. I'll have to double check.
Are you
sure? Maybe not. I have a theory on it, but it might not have been that. Okay. John Muckian says both Troy and Evan missing for the Portugal game. No, they're both in the squad at the moment. And Franco also says Troy and Evan both missing would not be a good situation. Kevin Callahan says, great to see Coleman and Egan back. Yeah, I think that's sentiments we all kind of share. Donny Nagel chatting about Moran again with Nick. If Moran was starting and goal assist to his game, then maybe. But he's not even starting for LAFC, fuck's sake. I know our players aren't brilliant, but to go there and sit on the bench is a joke. He has actually played a bit, though, and Connor's just kind of referenced why he's probably not played recently. Jonathan Darcy, this is when we were chatting about the FAI obviously needing government money, which is going to be confirmed tomorrow. It would be a complete nut to put any money into the FAI. And that's just that. And Donny Nagel also says, saw the figures recently. GAA, 100 million a year. Horse racing at 79 million a year. Soccer gets 6 million a year. Let's not forget what greyhound racing get as well. I don't know the figures, but they get a lot of money from the government as well for a very, very low participation sport. But that's Ireland. Mega JDog 1995, another Lansdowne Raw supporter. So thank you for that. A member of Raw Plus. Delighted for Ferry getting the call up, but what's up with Heimer's inconsistent call ups? Honohan, now Ferry. I'd be pretty pissed if I was Honohan. What does that say to him and other League of Ireland squads? And just on
in fairness,
money, yeah, go on.
In case he hadn't seen what we said, Honahan's injured. That's why he was assessed and he's injured.
Yeah. Nick Can also just on that money issue with the FAI. I think the FAI performance against political establishment parties in Leinster House on Kildare Street will have the excuse to not fund the FAI. We had a good chat about this recently on a show, myself and Conor. And, again, the FAI, it is a mess, but it's a mess that has been created over many, many years. We're not defenders of the FAI. We do call them out. But I do think it's incredibly harsh to judge people who weren't there on past policies and processes and things, and when we're trying to fix it. And there's a number of good people working there. They have got some stuff wrong in there now. I'd still have a lot of questions about the structure of the board, some of these stupid things they do.
One question: why the fuck was Packy Bonner talking about Adam Ida his move to Swansea? Like, who cares? First of all, who cares? And he's meant to be a head figure in Irish football, and he was talking about, we made good money on him for a player people said he wasn't good enough and stuff like this. Like, shut up. Honestly, just shut up, Packy Bonner. No one cares what you think.
Packy Bonner's the new Martin O'Neill for you. You just don't like Celtic. That's what it is.
No, but I used to like Moussa Dembele when he was there before he won the Ballon d'Or. But Dave thought Moussa Dembele won the Ballon d'Or, not Usman. But anyway, I just think, like, in fairness, I've nothing against Packy Bonner. Like, he's obviously a legend of Irish football and stuff, but I just think that he's ran his course at the head of the FAI.
Yeah, great man, Packy, legend, but it's generational now, isn't it? And it's like I've seen him around the hotel and stuff, and he's lovely. I've had conversations with him, and it is like they value the support of Irish fans, of course, and you'll see him have the photos with fans and all that kind of interaction.
He lives in Scotland, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I see him though with like the players as well, and he's very kind of calming and have that little key word with them, like you can see him going, like, you've got to do this now, and just focus on that, you're doing really well and all this. But like some of them players, do they really know Packy Bonner?
No,
wouldn't it mean more if
it was Shay Given,
more of like Shay Given, John O'Shea having a word,
even Darren Randolph, like to a lot of them young lads, Darren Randolph coming in speaking, it would mean a lot more than Packy Bonner in all honesty. Because what year did Packy Bonner see the penalty? 90. None of them will remember it, because none of them would have been born before. Well, what year was Seamus Coleman born? But like, anyone bar Seamus Coleman probably doesn't remember 1990. In all honesty,
so it is like generations. Obviously, that's it. It's generational, but and you could. It's not like I don't know. It's not like you're looking up at. Like German players that are looking up, years ago with a small Beckenbauer or Klinsmann or things, that kind of thing. They're not, absolute legend, of course, but like I think that's where like Duffer did. Duffer would have, really impressed, Shelbourne players and stuff, because he medals on the table, Champions League winner, John O'Shea, Champions League winner, Robbie, goals, played with, when Robbie can list who he plays with and played with. And who we associated with, it's incredible. So that's what appeals more to that kind of generation, I think. So, it's just a funny one, really. Like, and he's kind of figurehead of the association in a sense. So, I'm not saying just get out there, but he does seem to be a voice box for things. And is it relevant anymore? That's a lot of criticism. He's not really been involved in actual football or coaching. I know he was part of UEFA, of course, but it's a strange one. Nick also says, I get what you're saying, Danny Nagel, but he's getting minutes, and this Jack Taylor hasn't even played since last camp. So why is he in there? Szmodics has now dropped out, so we're lacking a number 10. Are we lacking a number 10?
Yeah, we are.
Where's Finn going to play? Will he play as a 10?
He's our only number 10. Taylor plays high up for Ireland sometimes.
Quiet now on Fizz. You've gotten a bit quiet on Finn's ass now. You're starting to lose hope.
No, he's just playing. He's just in bad form.
Okay. What, he's like Dave? But bad form as in football form, or bad form like Dave form? When he's in bad form.
No, he's not volatile. No, he's just in bad form. Football wise.
Yeah. Tony Nagel also says Evan and Troy are fit for Saturday, according to the Irish Examiner. And also says, Nick, I totally agree on Taylor. He shouldn't be there. Ed M says he would have liked to seen Rocco Vata get a call up. Well, he's with the under 21s. And Nick can also says, irony that in the 1980s, the League of Ireland clubs were doing well in European football, but the senior team was shite. Now, 2025, the League of Ireland clubs are doing well in Europe.
So it means we're on the verge of 2 special runs.
Yeah. It's very true, yeah. And Killian O'Dwyer has asked a question, are we a player short in the squad now? It will be a 23-man squad. I wonder who's on standby. Can you find out, please, Conor? Who would be on standby, do you think? Jesus gracious. Johnny Kenny, maybe?
Strikers, probably. I don't think it wouldn't be Johnny. I don't think it'll be Johnny Kenny anymore because he hasn't really played. I think it'll probably be Sinclair or Tom Cannon. But Sinclair's more different than Tom Cannon is. Midfielders wise, Conor Coventry is definitely on standby.
Defense, Mark McGuinness, maybe.
McGuinness.
Maybe.
Abanqua. Rocco Vata would probably be on standby as such. As Selma was probably quite far down the list because he's never been involved in the squad before. But yeah, I would probably say them ones are probably the standby. Maybe Andy Moran, but I don't know if I don't think you really would have a lad playing in America on standby. Not because of my but because unless he came in today, flew tonight, or flew on a Monday, you'd need to fly. It'd need to be before the Wednesday as such.
Yeah. That's the problem though, isn't it? With him going out there as well.
In fairness, it's not a long flight. It's just it would need to be arranged properly.
And that might have been the thing as well with O'Dowd at the last camp as well. Because he was fit then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For Armenia, and then Szmodics is out, and it was easy to just go. Josh Honan, we're going over there.
The thing is, it could have. I know it wouldn't cost any extra. It's the same sea. Yeah, but it wouldn't. But O'Dowd was only flying from Hungary. Like I flew from Hungary to Armenia. That's where I got my flight. I stopped in Budapest only 3 hours. So.
You should have told the FBI. You could have, put his luggage in yours, save him some money. The road mics. Jonathan Darcy, we have reached the bottom of the barrel. I appreciate you being positive about the team, but Jesus, Dundee United might be better long term to dip into the under 21 guys at this point. Jesus, there is a little bit of a call sometimes, isn't there, for people like, let's just fast track under 21s, let's fast track them, and then that's what we've done though. You do need to give them time, I suppose. Also, Kimon Mac Conula. Hi lads, hope all's well. Who would you call up to replace Szmodics? Well, he's been replaced. Well,
more than if it was, but they won't call up a replacement.
No. And also Nick says Watford look a lot better now. They're playing the Irish lads. Watched their last game and both played well. That's Rocco and Abanqua. And Jonathan Darcy, 16 months ago, Luton were playing in the Premier League, and that's just talking about Josh Keeley, who's lost his manager tonight or today. So
he's not. No, he's not. He's not dead though. He hasn't lost him.
No, he's not dead. No. Yeah. All right. Jesus. Yeah. Imagine we started that rumor. And Killian O'Dwyer says, I wouldn't call up Szmodics up again. He keeps pissing off.
Pussying off.
Okay. Oh yeah, pussing off. There you go. Let down with the children. Darren Hartnett. I'll give you English spelling, pronunciation. Well, lads, would love to have seen Dawson Devoy call up. Best midfield in the League of Ireland at the minute. Also, hope Ireland move on from Castore soon. Shite gear, bad quality. Speculation about kits. We were talking about that the other day, but nothing happening as far as I'm aware. But
you said you spoke to someone at the Castore shop And you said before the Portugal game at home.
Yeah, I did hear that. Someone did tell me that. Yeah, I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
who, but I was told that.
You said you were at like a
because I-
store. I remember you said on the podcast, so I can say it in here. You said so you were at the shop and one of the employees told you.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's what you told me. That's what you said on the podcast one night.
Might have been quoting someone else.
No, maybe.
I don't know who
You
I
said you
spoke to
said
because yeah, someone else said that. Yeah, that was it. Someone else was in and asked. That was it. Yeah, someone else went in and asked about when the kits are out, and they were told it was going to be launched thing. But they should be promoting that now, really. But yeah, that'd be the one that would be the seller in a sense. Grego Lockie, again, a Raw Plus supporter. Thank you again for your support, Grego. They should pass the captaincy on to Keller if Coleman doesn't play because Collins is diabolical. Jonathan Darcy, Seamus has passed it now. His game time will be very limited. First thing for you want from your captain is being in the team regularly. Yeah, I get that, but I think sometimes pressure comes with captaincies, and you can really unsettle yourself basically, and I think that's where it can make you undroppable as well. With the manager can make a kind of rod for her own back. We've seen that with Man United with Maguire and stuff in the past, and even Bruno now, and I'm obviously bringing it back to Ireland. Collins hasn't been in great form, but he's captain, and it is like, well,
Yeah. But the thing is, Coleman will just naturally take up this role of being the leader and being the leader in the group and being probably the team talks. But will that rattle Collins a bit? The fact that he's meant to be the captain as such, and then you have Coleman taking over the lead. But I don't know, maybe just because it's Coleman, you just respect him instantly.
Yeah, I think that's the case. He's not playing a lot at Everton, but he's the one setting the standards, and I think that's what it is. It's setting the standards and expectation around the squad. Not even on match day in a sense. It's just this is what we do. This is levels of training, levels of concentration and focus. That's what it is, I think, for him. So that's what he's going to bring to it for me. And just they needed that reminder from after the game in Armenia, of course. So, John O'Mahony, how are Evan Weir and Oisin McEntee getting on this season?
Weir's doing really well. He's probably been player of the year so far, doing really well. Oisin McEntee is now at Hearts, and he's been playing at. He used to always be a centre half, and he's played at midfield and right back. So he's doing very well. Hearts are top of the Scottish Premiership, so he's doing really well. At his new club in Scotland, so his other lad is doing really well there.
Thankfully, brilliant. And also, where am I now? Sorry, this is a very amateur. I'm joking. Sorry, we're just going. Just lost myself mid comments here. Jonathan Darcy, I've never seen a midfield selection so bad in all my days. I'm going to say. Donny Nagel, Casey McAteer can also play as an 8. I think this could also be an option. Gregor Lockie. He says, "Can I take down my Szmodics shirt? Thanks." It may be soon. Maybe soon. That could be a valuable one in years to come because he won't have played many times for Ireland. This could be a Joel Lapira moment. Do you know who Joel Lapira was?
Yeah, they probably played one game in America.
Yeah, there you go. Look, quiz question for you.
I'm not that stupid.
Nick, I've got the John Joe Patrick Finn shirt as well, so that could definitely be one, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That will be one.
Jesus, there you go. Put that as a raffle prize. I really rate Cullen, but he needs a physical midfielder beside him. Boston would be great with him. I know it's just that is the problem. Jonathan Darcy, Ferguson was injured. Why was he on the bench the weekend? Don't buy that at all.
Because of 1 million people on the bench.
Yeah.
In Italy, you have 1 million people on the bench, so it wouldn't make it. Maybe they just have to fill the bench up, like.
And Killian O'Dwyer also says, "Bring back Callum Robinson. He's always done it for Ireland. Simple as that. Is your standby player?
No,
that is your standby player. I would have him in there if anyone else pulls out striker wise. For one game only. Do it for us. We will obviously get through to the rest of the comments, of course. But one question I'm just going to put out there, if there is anyone watching along, and Conor, I want to ask you this: are you worried going into this now? We've spoke about the squad, but one thing we haven't mentioned tonight is Hamer. Are you worried about his in-game management, or even looking back at Armenia? His team selection, he makes these weird selections. Of course, we know the squad now as well. Will Ferry coming in. Are you worried about him going into this key window now? Like, what has he got to do right?
Why have you just made me sad again? Of course he's going to get it wrong. He's going to play 4-4-2 away to Portugal with Manning and bloody Ferry on the wings, on the 2 left wings. 2 left-hand side is going to be Manning and Ferry. Like, it's obvious. Like, that's just going to make me depressed. And he hasn't shown enough to trust him yet in the selection so far. As I've said, I want him to go for a 3-5-2 with Ogbene in the front 2 with Ferguson. But I don't see that happening. But probably more for the comments than asking me, because we've already spoken about it and probably speak about it tomorrow on our show. But I just don't know what to expect from him. Like, I expect the unexpected is probably what I would say with him. Are you the same?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried to second guess his team selection. I don't think we've ever got it 100% right. Hamer team selection. So, but he's got to listen to us. He's got to watch the show. Hi, Hamer and John, Paddy, how are you doing? Anyway, Jonathan Darcy, I'd rather Ferguson stay in Italy if he's not 100%. Long term, he really needs to focus on his club. If it doesn't work out at Roma, where would that leave him next season? No, he's got to be there. No, he's an Ireland player before he's a Roma player. No. Keith Morrell doing a great job, lads. Thank you, Keith. Thank you as well for supporting Raw Plus. Really appreciate that. Aaron Gubbins, well, lads, great to listen to you as always. Do you know anyone who has a spare tickets for Portugal game? Aaron, my Twitter handle there at PrenDM, just drop me a message and I'll see if I can put you in contact with someone. Possibly I've had a few people contact me about tickets or have tickets and things. So yeah, don't mind passing that on. Random, that's Martin Delaney, by the way. If Dave was on, that's what would be said. Garrett McGann, random one, but feels mad that Omo made his Ireland debut before Collins. Shows his quality he has if he can just stay fit. He was actually in that game in Faro in 2021, and he nearly scored, didn't he?
Yeah, and both of them were on the bench that day, and he went with Omo Bamidele over Collins. O'Shea went off injured. Did O'Shea break his leg or something bad? Like, just something really bad. He broke something. Broke his foot. He broke something. And Omo Bamidele came on over Collins, which was a big shock actually at the time. I know he was playing well for Norwich, but Collins was a real established player in first team football at that stage. So that was a big shock, but it shows the level Omo Bamidele has. But like, even I remember saying in June how annoyed he would have been the fact he was in the squad for both those and didn't play a minute. Player of his quality didn't play a minute. I know he was very hit and miss in terms of injury and not, but like, hopefully he just keeps building up the minutes now at Strasbourg. And I'm glad he's not really starting. Thing is it looks like Rossini's managing his minutes. He played 90 minutes during the week in the Conference League, and then played 13 minutes on Saturday. I know, but it's a good thing, probably the benefit of the back three. I know we see what Man United and everyone gives about Amarin switching the centre backs, but Liam Rossini does it as well with Strasbourg. So hopefully Omo can keep building on his minutes.
Yeah, because I really rate him. I think a fantastic player. Him and Mark. I saw him in the under-21s years ago, and I thought they were really loud that night communicating. I know it's more than that, but they were fantastic that day. Shane Brown, hi lads, appreciate all you do. Thank you, Shane. Malumbi has to start against Portugal. Need his energy and bite in the midfield. I'm happy to see Coleman back. Will at least bring some much needed leadership. Yeah, great point there. I agree with that. Adam Curtis, I'm looking forward to seeing Malumbi back in the squad, someone who will stick a foot in and leave a little extra. I'd also like to see Festi or Ogbene start against Portugal in that right wing back role, and then sub one for the other around 67 for an out ball. Yeah, really good comment. Do
what Rep Tracker says. Put Festi at right wing back and play Ogbene in the front two with Ferguson, like we used to always do.
That is a little bit my team I have picked.
Oh, shock! I told you. I literally said that when I said it to you.
There, look.
Yeah, but what happened when I said? What happened is we didn't.
You did say that I would do that. You did say we would do that.
I was like, watch the two of them would copy what I've said.
You did.
But yeah, I'd start both them. But maybe he could play McAteer, maybe he's going back to, but he's not really playing. He doesn't really do it. He doesn't have that X factor the other two have. But yeah, but the thing is, you could swap vice versa as well. But yeah, two of them will definitely, I'd say, get minutes anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And just wanna, where are we there? Here we go. Aaron Gubbins, what would you be happy with this window? And then he comes on and says 6 points incoming, 2-1, a magical night, Lisbon, Manning, beauty free kick, I suppose, and Brown.
Jake O'Brien.
O'Brien. Header in the last 5 minutes, probably in my dreams, more like pigs will fly. Oh, he meant O'Brien there. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. I mean, 4 points would be magic for me. You have to win again in Dublin against Armenia. 6 points would be ridiculous, but the key game is beating Armenia, and everything else is a bonus.
3 points and not getting hammered in Portugal, really.
Yeah,
losing
goal
1 or
difference
2
would be
0.
yeah.
But
Just
that'll be happy
news,
with.
big news. Sorry, go on.
That will we be happy with. Ideal 4 points would take. I'd be buzzing with 4 points in all honesty.
Yeah, and worst case, it's got to be 3. So you've got to beat Armenia. It's not good enough a draw.
Yeah.
So, welcome Shane Brown, a new YouTube member. Thank you for supporting Raw Plus, and thank you for that. Yeah, brilliant. And let us know, Shane, that you're enjoying it. Go back through all the past episodes, and I hope you are enjoying it. And give us any feedback you want, of course. Keith Morrell, Omar Bamadelli is getting a few minutes at the weekend. Strasbourg plays some lovely football. Any news on John Joe Patrick? We'd love to see a few of the under-21s getting a game.
Yeah, John Patrick doesn't even make the bench anymore for Stade in the second year of France, which is not good. But he
is the options to get out of there, or?
Yeah, I think so. In January, probably. I know Stade are dying to get rid of him in the summer to make a bit of money off him, and the level of club that was the option wasn't to a high standard that it would make him move on. So it's not been a good time. I don't know if he'll get back in, or if he'll not, he'll probably be desperate for moving January.
Yep. Okay. Really needs to, doesn't he? I mean, from Ireland's debut to that, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Has there been a bigger fall from grace than that?
I think it's like he stopped making squads and basically League One's standard.
There is like the biggest fall. That's a big fall from grace. It's a little bit Obafemi-ish, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
not as big as Obafemi, because Obafemi's just gone to dough.
Yeah.
What is going on there? Like, what a waste of talent. But
yeah. Daniel 2606, another Raw Plus subscriber, shows the difference between Szmodics and Ferguson. One doesn't play on a weekend and the other one does. And the guy who's apparently injured is still with the Ireland camp and the other one isn't. Very good. Does anyone know why Louis Barry wasn't selected after clearing for Ireland? So David?
He's not really playing since Chris Wilder's come in the door.
Did you see the Chris Wilder kick of the ball?
No.
Into the crowd?
Like no? Oh, yeah. The fan, I seen it was sent off.
Yeah. He got done for, he's been fined as well by the FA on reaction to that. Aaron Cubbins also said Allheimer seems to want and be happy with 3 points and beat Armenia, which is not good enough. We should believe we can get something from Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, his team lineup on that, because he is definitely one that, you know, yeah, I just think how he's going to be approaching that game. You know, he can't sack it off, basically. Keith Morrell, Jacob Ryan up front. Big lad like the old days, with Troy picking up second balls, put him under pressure. Good old days. Oh, yeah, remember that? Ginger Pele. We need Ginger Pele back. Gary Doherty. Aaron Gubbins, what's the best result between Armenia and Hungary? I presume a draw.
Probably Hungary win.
Hungary win, yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it would realistically be a draw.
It wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It would be a bit nervy though.
Yeah. And is that where is that?
It's in Budapest, because that would mean Hungary would be on 2 points, Armenia would be on 4, with still Hungary to play at home. Could you imagine the confidence levels if they got a draw in Budapest? So yeah, it would be real nervy, like.
Yeah, exactly. Then Aaron also says, when are you heading to Portugal? Friday? You are as well, aren't you, Conor? How many are still in it with only 3? How are we still in it with only 3 points? Because Portugal will be on 9 and played 3 games. We will be on 4, having played.
We'll have 4 points. We'll have 4 points.
Yeah, and
Hungary will be on 4 as well, heading into the last window as well, most likely.
Yeah.
We'll be joint second.
And they've got Portugal, and we've got Portugal. So no, they've got us. Yeah.
They have Armenia away, what's be Portugal at home, and then us in Budapest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it could go down to that final game. Aaron Gubbins, have you many videos coming up for Raw Plus members? Yep, we do. We will have some stuff out for you. Also, Daniel 2606 Szmodics is a spoof and never done anything good for Ireland. Jason Conor, find it very interesting the way Saturday's performance will shape the mood around Armenia at home. A toothless loss will have serious pressure on the team come Tuesday. Could the wheels truly come off? They could, to be honest.
Question,
We absolutely get battered. The view will be, the narrative will be, it's over, but it's not over. That's the irony of it, and what it could play into. I mean, I've done this. We had a positive night, myself and Conor just chatting on our WhatsApp group, and it was all figuring out where it's going to go to the last game, and it was based on the fact that Portugal will possibly be coming to Dublin and have qualified already 12 points from this window, from after 4 games, and they're there, and they've got nothing to play for in Dublin. And that's where, a little bit like when Germany came and we won 1-0 with Shane Long. So Aaron Gubbins, hopefully a few more picks of players manhandling CR7 and getting stuck in like Duffy.
First 2
what's
minutes
interesting with that, and that's why I mentioned O'Dowda's thing, is earlier the post I saw that O'Dowda was out and it was him hugging Ronaldo. The amount of players, you probably would do this. I would do this, so I'm not going to be bitching about it really. But the amount of players after the Ireland-Portugal game when John O'Shea was interim, where was that? Aveiro, wasn't it? And they hammered us, and they were going off to tournaments and things, and we were sitting at home. But the amount of players who all posted their little social media posts that day, but Ronaldo was in the picture with them. It was like they were just desperate to have that photo. I mean, I would be the same, I suppose. Jason Conlon, but a genuinely shared excitement and optimism, blind hope of the lads. Some crack to take it to Budapest. I mean, imagine that. 3,500 tickets should be getting for Budapest as well. So big Irish support going over there, hopefully, if there's something to play for. Jonathan Darcy, we're not going to talk about the fact that even if we had the players Portugal had, I would not be confident enough in Heimer to beat Armenia.
It's a bit excessive.
Yeah. Aaron Gubbins also said just about at home, which is in reference to the getting stuck in like Duffy did when Portugal came to Dublin that time. Right, Conor, great show as usual. Thank you to the Raw Faithful for being involved this evening. That makes the show for us. All your comments, fantastic. Got over 1,500 you watching tonight. Make sure you have subscribed to Lansdowne Raw on our YouTube channel, on Lansdowne Road on Facebook. Follow Conor Rep Tracker on Twitter and X, or wherever it is now. Lansdowne Raw Pod as well. Make sure you go back and look at all of our old episodes as well, to see all the fantastic shows we've done. We've done a few live shows as well. If you want to find out a little bit more about 2002 World Cup and the fallout of Roy Keane, we had Ian Hart, Clinton Morris, and Alan Kelly with us on stage in November last year, just for the England game. It's a fantastic 2-part of that one. We've also had David Ford over recently with us, and we've got lots and lots planned for the podcast going forward with some amazing guests lined up. So we really do appreciate your support, the Raw Faithful, because that's why we do it. And I think you'll agree with me as well. Conor brings some fantastic insight onto these amazing young players coming through. We need to support them. We need the money from the government. Give us your money, as Goldorf would say. But we need the money to be put into Irish football to help support it. That's what we want to do, promote Irish football. We will hold the FAI to account. We are match-going fans. This is by the fans, for the fans. We're all off to Lisbon. We can't wait, because that's what it's about, meeting up with the Raw Faithful, meeting up with Irish fans, as we often do. And we thank you for your positive feedback about the show, and even your criticism of Dave sometimes. He loves that especially. Don't be afraid to give that to him when you do see him. We've had a few more comments come in as well. Keith Morrell, Eamon Dunphy, to Bill O, Spoofer Bill. Brilliant. What a man. Bill was fantastic, wasn't he? Franco as well. Great work as ever. Thanks, Frank. See you in Lisbon. Aaron Gubbins, you missed what I said about it. What was that? Did I?
What's wrong?
I don't know what that's about. Jonathan Darcy, Hungary and Armenia drawing us by a mile with the best result. If Hungary beat them twice, that puts them at 7 points to our 4 points going to the last game. We could beat Hungary and still not get second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Yeah. So, looking forward to Lisbon, as I said, and obviously meeting up with you. Anyone who wants to meet us and have a pint pre-match, we're going to be in Slattery's again on Tuesday in Dublin. So make sure you get along there. That's the home of the pre-match pint, isn't it, Conor? and we had a good crack there last time. But yeah, we're going to be in Lisbon. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We'll be chatting to fans across the 2 days or 3 days we're there, and hopefully it'll be a fantastic historical night for Irish football. But do keep with us. We've got loads of content coming this week. Subscribe, as I said. And there we go. That's the comment from Aaron Wood about would you be happy beating Armenia 1-0? Yeah. If we beat them 1-0,
wins a win, yeah.
Winners a win at this stage. Yeah, we have to be in contention. So as I said, stick with us. Loads of content. We're going to be doing a preview show where we're going to give it our predicted teams, our predictions for the match, what Heimer's going to actually do, what we think he should do. And we've got it all covered here. And especially we'll be do check out and follow us because Conor's got them fantastic interviews coming up with the under-21s. We follow Irish football at all levels. So make sure you support us as well. And we'll bring it to you there. But thank you and good night.